Hey guys, so welcome back. By now you've watched two videos, one that gives you a little bit of an idea about what pitch is and one that talks to you about the concept of pitch range. I draw some insanely crazy picture for you here, but today we're going to move on, still working with pitch, but we're going to talk about this thing called scales. Let's go with these colours today. So scales are essentially an ascending or descending family of pitches. That might sound like a really weird explanation, but when I start to talk to you about key signatures and things like that, you'll understand why we use the word family. So remember thinking back to the musical alphabet and how I said C is like the most important letter ever. We're going to work with C scales. A scale is, like I said, ascending, meaning going up, or descending, meaning going down. Builds from C. So this thing is called your root note. Oh, I can't even write root note of your scale. So if we were making a C scale, we would be moving up to the next note. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Understanding what, if I draw a little piano for you, we'll see how good this picture is for you. Wow, that's a very disproportionate piano, but you get the drift. If we start at C here, I'm going to put this word here as well because we're talking about major scales today. There's a few different kinds of scales, but we're talking about major scales. C is our root note. So it's the beginning note for the scale. There is a pattern for major scales where we use the words tone and semitone. A tone is like two semitones. And a semitone is this thing we call a half step. So you could, technically this one's a full step. You got a full step or a half step. Now a step, if you look at the piano, is going from one key to the next key. So that would be a step. Maybe we'll call this a step. And this is two steps, because that might help. So C to here is a step. It's a semitone. Two steps takes you to D, and that's a tone. If you look at the recipe, I'm going to show you. So between C and D, we've got two steps. So there's a tone. Between D and E is two steps. Another tone. E to F is only stepping one key because there's no black note here. It steps one key. So that's one step, meaning it's a semitone. From F to get to G, you've got two. So it's a tone. From G to A, you've got two steps, one up here, one down here. It's a tone. A to B, you got two steps again. And then from B to C, you've got one step. It's a semitone. Therefore, the major scale recipe, whenever you write any major scale, is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Sing it for me. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That's your major scale recipe. Because you know from our last video about the pitch ranges, I want to challenge you to write the C major scale for all three clefs. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but you actually have the knowledge to do it. I'm going to start you off. Let's start with the alto clef one. So that's where your C is. That's middle C for alto clef. That's middle C for bass clef, and that's middle C for treble clef. Draw this C major ascending. Ascending means going up. This can be C major anywhere. I don't care if you go up or down. And this can be C major descending. Tackle that one for me, and then I'll come back. I'll talk to you about